Of Related Midwest. I want to thank everyone for being here. There's nothing like a January groundbreaking in Chicago. Now, but at least the beginning here, we're inside and warm, and I appreciate that. You know, Phase B of Roosevelt Square is such an important project to us at Related and all of our partners. I first want to thank the City of Chicago and the Mayor for her incredible work and their incredible work on getting us to this point, as well as the Chicago Housing Authority and their special work. This has been years in the making. I also want to especially thank Housing Commissioner Marisa Novara and her entire team for their incredible work on this project. Commissioner Novara is a tireless leader and a champion of our city and of housing in our city, and we applaud her efforts to bring this project to fruition. And to all the team at Related Midwest, thank you for your years of hard work, especially Michael Kaplan. His efforts here are exceptional, and we appreciate it. I also want to thank our construction, engineering, and architecture partners, because one thing that sets this development apart is the diversity of the team that's coming together to make this happen. It's a team that really represents the city of Chicago. We're proud to say that this is a unique partnership led by a team of 100% minority-owned firms as general contractors. I don't think that's ever been done in the city of Chicago. Thank you to BOA, Blackwood, MIKK, and GMA Construction for your incredible talent. And us, yes. And a special thank you to my partner, Nosa Ehewema, who's led this. So thank you, Nosa. We also want to thank our architect partners for their skill and vision: Moody Nolan, Design Bridge, HED, Land & Bone Baker, and NIA Architects. Thank you. A full 74% of the architecture and engineering work on this project was completed by women and minority-owned firms. Again, I think probably a record in the city of Chicago. Of course, none of this would be possible without our bankers, so thank you to BMO Harris, CIBC, and Hudson Housing. Roosevelt Square not only is years in the making on our end, but it's been needed for years in this community. The Near West Side is a wonderful neighborhood, but it has long struggled with a lack of housing, especially affordable housing. At Related Midwest, we are committed to making sure that people from all income levels have access to quality homes, where they can put down roots, raise families, and build a future here in Chicago. I am proud to say that in Phase 3B, we will construct 80 CHA apartments, 50 affordable workforce apartments, 92 market rate apartments, and we'll be completely renovating 184 affordable apartments. And Alderman Irvin, we will be building, while we're doing this, we're going to build these 3-bedroom townhomes for sale as well, which I know you've been very focused on. We appreciate that. Ultimately, over 2,000 units will be built here at Roosevelt Square. And because of this development, people from all income levels will be able to call this vibrant neighborhood home. And I'm thrilled to say that they were going to be able to eat well as well, thanks to a new local grocery store. Fresh Stop featuring the Slice Shop, because you can't live in Chicago without a place to get a good slice of pizza. So thank you to Fresh Stop owner Roddy Hashish, who's here with his family. Roddy, where are you? There he is. Thank you. We're so excited to kick this project off, and we couldn't do it without the support of so many partners here today. One of the critical ones, obviously, has been Alderman Irvin. I want to introduce him and say thank you, Alderman Irvin. Look forward to getting started.
Good morning, and thank you to Kurt and his team from Related Midwest. This day has been a long time coming. We have worked extremely hard to get to this point where we have begun to rebuild Roosevelt Square, the former Obla development. One thing I will say, even this building that we're in today, the challenges that we face bringing affordable housing back to this community were insurmountable, but we had some great partners in making this happen. First, I want to thank our Housing Commissioner, Marissa Navarra. She was actually not the Housing Commissioner when we first had conversations about this very building, but was always a supporter of bringing affordable housing back to this community. Not only that we have affordable housing, but we also have CHA and market rate housing. So I just want to thank you for your support and help in bringing this forward today. Also, Tracy Scott, our CEO of CHA, for the work that she has done to make sure that we are staying on top of what I call the M's, which are our minority businesses, and making sure that our Section 3 businesses accordingly are participating in the largesse of everything that is happening here today. And as Kurt spoke of earlier, the fact that we have a 100% minority general contracting team was something that we definitely pushed for, and something that they made a reality, not only with the new construction, but also the rehabilitation, because there's something that everyone can do. Everyone in this mix, there is something for every style and type of contractor that represents our community for participation. So we're definitely grateful for the work that Related did in making that a reality. And finally, I want to, not finally, I also want to thank Ms. Baggett, who is the, now if you know Mary, raise your hand, please. All right, so you know that sometimes, things are rough. But I know that when she speaks from the heart of the residents in which that she serves, because this community has been promised so much but delivered so little. And so it is always at the forefront of her mind that she's fighting for and advocating for the residents in the Obla Brooks community. So I just want to thank you for all of your hard work and keeping us on track for delivering for residents here. And finally, I want to thank our mayor for continuing to keep us, as they say, the North Star of working to bring people back into this city. We've had challenges through the years, as many of you know, but without the work and the leadership of the mayor, it is very difficult to get things done through DPD, to get CHA to move in the right direction, to get everybody lined up, and that requires the leadership of the chief executive of this city. So I want to thank her for her work and her hard work and impetus on bringing good quality projects to the west side of Chicago, this being one of many that we will be, and we'll be back here hopefully in a couple of weeks working on some more stuff. And again, and I'll say this to Kurt, we've got, if you look over the other side of that building, there's more land for us to work from and to do, because as she stated, if we get the west side of Chicago on track, we get this whole city on track. And so the work that we can do here will resonate not just here in this community, but all the further parts of the west side, to the north side, to the south side, because it is truly the main issue of our city to bring good things back to these communities, and again, to fulfill the promises that were made to residents some 20 and 30 years ago. So I really appreciate the partnership and work that has been done, and the administration for all that we've done to get to this point today and to continue moving this ball forward. So as Kurt stated, we're looking forward to new townhomes, we're looking forward to new development, and again, we've got a very blank canvas and a lot to work from. But again, we can't get that without the support of all of our partners, and especially the support and the leadership of our mayor. So without further ado, I want to introduce our mayor, Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are here again in this great community to announce something I think important and special. The last time we were here, the weather was a little bit warmer, but we were right next door, announcing the start of the National Public Housing Museum. And with that announcement came the promise of the other things that we needed to do to really kickstart new development and particularly affordability in this neighborhood. Let me pick up, excuse me, I'm going to depart from my prepared remarks a little bit, but let me pick up where Alderman Irvin left off. What we must do anytime we're coming back on what I'll say is hallowed ground, ground where community residents live for generations, not always in the best of circumstances, but formed unbelievably important community bounds. and bonds, we must make sure that we honor the people in the community. So we are here today to start what will be a transformation on the old Oblahones ground, that we bring back those residents that we made a promise to, but as the alderman said, hadn't delivered for way too long. This is what today is really about. First and foremost, the people who have been here, the people who have hung on, and the people that will come to reform this community, but always with that base that started at the Oblahomes. So that I am extremely proud about. We are also, I'm proud about the fact of, as Kurt described, the enormous pool of talent that is coming together from all across our city to make the vision a reality. And Kurt, you're always too humble, and I'm going to give you your due. It has been a long tradition in our city for the kind of downtown developers, and that's a euphemistic way of saying the white developers in our city, to do what they do, maybe make the bare minimums, maybe not, but not really be fully engaged in making sure that black and brown and women contractors, landscape architects, and others, all the component parts that are necessary to put together a sophisticated development like this, most of our folks have been on the outside looking in. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that Kurt Bailey, Don Bernanke, and the team at Midwest Related Midwest, they live their values every single day. And they are worthy of our praise. So, Kurt, Don, and the team at Related Midwest, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all you've done for our city. Thank you for what you will be doing, but also thank you for recognizing that we are better together, that we are stronger if we move together. We're stronger if we build wealth across our city and we cut other people into the deal. So thank you for that. So after the completion of Phase 3B, which is being supported by $60 million in city funding, 3 new mid-rise buildings will provide a mix of studio, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments, all complete with the finest fixtures that we can do within the budget. 92 are market rate, 80 are for families with CHA subsidies, and 50 are affordable workforce units. Through Phase 3B, Related Midwest and their partners will also reinvest and update 184 additional existing affordable apartments that were built during Phase 1, as well as restore the last remaining Jane Addams building, which will house 15 apartments, and the National Public Housing Museum, which we broke ground on last fall. This first-of-its-kind museum, if you didn't hear it, let me remind you, will tell the history and story of public housing in the United States, obviously featuring our own city of Chicago's history, and reiterate the important and powerful impact public housing has on our communities. Chicago is truly the best place for this resource, as it complements our steadfast city-wide commitment to creating and funding equitable, affordable housing developments across our city, as well as remedying the effects of the failed public housing models of the past. So I'm grateful, as I said, to Related Midwest. 74% of the architecture and engineering work was completed by minority and women-owned businesses. And folks, that is a very big deal. I think Kurt is probably right. Maybe the first time in the history of our city. And the general contractor is 100% minority-led firms. Another big, big deal. This is exactly the gold standard that we want to set for developers here in the city. Now, they say it's not possible. Say it will lead to cost overrun. Say that there's not an adequate talent pool. This project puts the lie to all of the naysayers and proves definitively that when you're committed, when you're determined and intentional, you can get it done. Let me also give a shout out to 2 other people that, without whom this moment would not be possible. Very first conversation that I ever had with Tracy Scott. about becoming the CHA commissioner. We talked about using the power of CHA to be a developer, not just somebody handing out vouchers, not just somebody running legacy buildings, but to think creatively about how we could get it done. And ladies and gentlemen, she has lived up to the promise and the conversation that we had today. So Tracy, I want to thank you personally and your whole team for doing the things that need to get done and using the CHA as a catalyst for bringing more and more CHA housing online, but in communities so the residents of these buildings can take advantage of the amenities that all of us take for granted, but we all know are essential to creating vibrant, walkable neighborhoods. So thank you, Tracy. I also always have to give praise to Marissa Navarra and her incredible team at the Department of Housing. I've waxed on many, many times about her, but suffice it to say, here's one note that I think you need to understand. Through a pandemic, through an economic meltdown of historic proportions, this housing commissioner and her team have delivered almost 16,000 affordable housing units in our city, and more are coming in the pipeline. We're not where we need to be at the end of this long journey, but folks, we are taking big, bold strides to address the shortage of affordable housing in our city, and this is due in no small part to the work of Commissioner Navarra and her team, and we need to make sure that people hear this story far and wide. She is leading, getting the deals done, making sure the financing is there, closing on these important developments, and importantly, taking big, bold steps to break down housing segregation in our city once and for all. So thank you, Commissioner, for your hard work. So I'll go back to where I started. This is a great day for the city of Chicago. This is a great day for those of us who care about making sure that the words equity and inclusion have real content and meaning. You see what we are doing by putting together the deal teams, by having the vision and bringing it to life, but importantly, honoring the residents and the legacy of the Abla homes and the people who lived here, the communities that they built. I am extraordinarily excited to see these buildings rise and for the residents to come back and for the new community that will be built here on Taylor Street. So thank you all very much. It's a pleasure to be with you. And now I have the honor of bringing to the podium Tracy Scott. And people always say, are they the same person? We call each other every morning to make sure that we're not wearing the same outfit.
Well, that's good company to be in, so thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. This truly is a celebration and a day to celebrate this project. I'd like to start by thanking Mayor Lightfoot for, and I wrote it here, steadfast, unwavering, and purposeful commitment, because it takes that purpose, setting a goal and going towards it. And in your commitment to affordable housing in every single Chicago neighborhood, supported with the fine work of Commissioner Navarra, as has been mentioned, is unmatchable. I'd also like to thank Kurt Bailey and Michael Kaplan and the entire team at Related Midwest for the work that you're doing here and for your partnership. Alderman Jason Irvin, the Chicago CHA Board of Commissioners, and we have one of our commissioners here today, Commissioner Harris. Resident leadership with Ms. Mary Baggett, who was just reelected as the voice of residents in this area. And then lastly, I will point out the CHA staff, and particularly Robin Broman, who is the development manager on this project, as well as the head of development, Ann McKenzie, for bringing us here today. And I've said this, and you've heard it before, that this has been a long journey. I've only been here 2 years, and it's still a long journey, and we've made it. But this is the result of what I would like to call public-private public partnerships, because it takes all of those elements to pull together a complicated deal like this, but also the funding and the commitment from the entire community. This is a $172 million project. That's $172 million that's being invested in this city, in this community, in affordable housing, and in families who will live here. And that is something to celebrate. So you've heard the numbers: 222 new homes, 184 homes that will be renovated. But I want to point out a couple of things. That whether it's the Taylor Street Library that we're standing in today, the SOS Children's Village, or the new National Public Housing Museum, CHA is really proud of the role that we can play in creating diverse, mixed-use, mixed-income communities, strong communities where it's more than just housing. Quality public schools, green space and outdoor recreation, jobs, careers, healthcare access right next door here, grocery stores, as Kurt mentioned, public transportation, and more. And this project demonstrates those ideals. It also demonstrates the commitment to inclusive and equitable contracting with minority and women-owned and disadvantaged businesses. And we're especially excited to hear to be part of a project where BOA Construction and GMA are the general contractors. I do want to take another moment to acknowledge them, because that's really, really a big deal. Sorry, I don't see them. And we're not done yet. Next in this area is the renovation of Brooks Homes. And we're working with Related Midwest on planning the next phases of Roosevelt, which will include a focus on home ownership. Thriving communities, diverse by race and income, require intentional actions. And today is an example of being intentional. Together with the City of Chicago and nonprofit and for-profit partners like Related Midwest, we are building the strong communities where families, regardless of income, can make choices to be successful. So I thank you so much for being here today, for helping us to celebrate this moment. And without further ado, I'd really like to introduce the president of the ABLA Brooks Local Advisory Council, Ms. Mary Baggett.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Baggett. I first want to say thank Jason Irving, BOA, Related, for just being a part of our community and giving small black businesses the opportunity to get work. It was time. It puts the community to work, stops a lot of crime, so it's a big deal, and we really appreciate it. I'm the president of ABLA, the Local Advisory Council. I'm very happy to be here representing the residents of ABLA Brooks Homes at this groundbreaking of the Roosevelt Square Phase 3B. The ABLA Brooks Home Local Advisory Council has worked very hard over a period of time to represent CHA residents, and thankful for the working group. Robin Bowman does a great job. We are thrilled with the outcome. It is exciting to know that we will be bringing back 222 new homes in Roosevelt Square, including 80 subsidized units for families. We are also happy that a new grocery store will be coming to the community, well needed. On behalf of the residents, I'd like to say thank you to CHA, the City of Chicago, thank you, Mayor, Related, for working with the residents and making contributions to this process. The ABLA Local Advisory Council will continue to work with CHA, the Chicago Housing Authority, City of Chicago, and Related on future phases to ensure that the perspective of public housing residents who will be living here is included in every phase of the planning. And also, I would like to say a big thank you to MIKK Construction, who's definitely played a big part over in ABLA, putting all these young men to work, giving them job opportunities, keeping them safe. Thank you, Owen Pittmans, and I want to bring you up.
Good morning, good morning. Another win for the city. It's wonderful to be a part of a team building such a beautiful community at Roosevelt Square. Ken Gibbs and myself, Owen Pittman, the owners of McDLP Construction, we are proud to bring our expertise to a development that will offer exceptional apartment homes and amenities for the community. We want to thank the community for its warm welcome and trust. We take pride in coming into the community, starting new companies, and building existing companies. We look forward to hiring and training from the community because we understand how important opportunity is. We have to maximize our community potential and make sure it's a better place when we're done. Thank you, Ms. Baggett, and her right hand, Rob, for your hard work and welcome. We want to thank the B3 team, ourselves, our staff, Blackwood, a great group of people to work with, the board group and its owner, Nosa, for their mentorship. Nosa has been a cool mentor, partner, and friend. And thank you, Nosa, for the late night calls, the weekend calls, while the boys are pulling on you saying, Daddy, Daddy, it's our turn. We want to thank Alderman Irvin for being on the side of the community and seeing this process through. Thanks for your leadership, big guy. We want to thank the CHA for their commitment. We want to thank the job program, which helped our company build our capacity over the years. Thank you, Mayor Lightfoot. It was your courageous actions that kept a company like ours on this project. Project labor agreements should include all contractors. It's the key to the process for inclusion for the city. We want to thank Related Midwest for their inclusion, dedication, and determination to change the industry for the better. I have to acknowledge Yarnette. She's been great over the years working with us. She's also my golfing partner. Amy, she's also my golfing partner. We look forward to working with you on this project. This is your baby. Mark Gayton from Related told us a couple years ago he wanted to see us build a skyscraper. And I said, Mark, I was thinking the same thing. And these guys are serious. Look at the great things Boy is doing. They're building skyscrapers, right? Don Bernanke runs a tight ship. He really wants the best for the city. He's also a biblical man. Don sitting in these meetings, sometime I don't know whether to clap or say amen. Kurt Bailey, thanks for being an open-minded boss. We really appreciate you. Last but not least, I have to thank Almighty God for His mercy and His blessings. Won't He do it? Some church folks in here. I have to thank my mom, who's up there with God right now, for her strength, raising 7 kids in public housing. We moved in the old Henry Horner homes November '84. We didn't get windows until April. So just know my mother, the management company got to know my mother very well. The inside of the windows was frozen during the winter months. You can go and take an ice cube off the windows. But if you step back a couple feet, you can almost sleep on the floor because the heat was so good. Some of us know about that Project Heat, right? She also lived to watch 3 of her kids get shot. My brother, that was a basketball star at Marshall High School, was shot in the leg walking to the store, ending his basketball career. He's fine. He's has his own tax service right now, doing well. One of my older sisters was struck in the neck, jumping double dutch in the park. She's fine. She's a teacher right now. I was shot and robbed walking to school, Crane High School, not too far from here. And here I am, giving a speech after Kurt Bailey and the mayor of Chicago. Won't he do it? One last thing I want you guys to do. Throw up the thumbs, look at me before I bring Kurt up and say, and on two, everybody, this is what opportunity looks like. 1, 2. This is what opportunity looks like. Thank you, Mr. Kurt.
I wish I could start every Monday morning like this. That was amazing. That was amazing. So I think we got from that incredible line of speakers all the people that came together to make this project possible. So thank you to everyone. We're going to walk over and do the groundbreaking now. I'm going to ask everyone to stay seated because the mayor's going to hop up and she's going to meet us over there. We're going to walk a block and a half. We've salted both sides of the street, but still please walk carefully over there. Get your hats on and your warm clothes, and we'll see you over there. Thank you again, everybody, so much.